Good morning. Welcome to CSL Greater Baltimore, and here are our announcements for October 15th, 2023. Educational opportunities include Thursday night study group at 7 p.m. Join us on our Zoom link at cslgreaterbaltimore.org. And to learn about other online educational opportunities, visit csl.org/development. We're building community one conversation at a time. So please join us on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month at 5:30 Eastern Time in our Zoom room. You'll find the link at cslgreaterbaltimore.com or .org. Today, directly after service, is our board meeting. Again, you can find the link to the Zoom room at cslgreaterbaltimore.com or .org. Isn't that a beautiful building? That is Villa Rosa, where Martin Luther King Jr. Stayed in Martha's Vineyard to do plotting and planning to release us and have us liberated from civil tyranny. Quote of the week from Brene Brown. In these challenging moments of dissonance, we need to stay curious and resist choosing comfort over courage. It is brave to invite new information to the table, to sit with it and hear it out. It's also rare these days. On sale now, the 2024 Spiritual Journal for Centers for Spiritual Living globally. A Grand Rising is the title, and with the new format, you'll be able to preserve all of your learnings, all of your insights from your participation with CSL Greater Baltimore. Contact Dana Cole or any of the board members for more information. We're considering ordering a set for everyone at a discounted price. But to order your copy, you can go to shop.csl.org. CSL Connection Call. Monday, October 16th, there'll be vital updates from the CSL Leadership Council, from the CSL Awards Committee, and from the CSL Operations, Information Technology, and Finance departments. Join October 16th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. It's every third Monday. Also this Monday coming, Elders Speak, hosted by the CSL Retired Ministers Committee. 2023's topic is Ageless Wisdom in a Changing World. What an elder cannot see, what an elder can see seated, a child cannot see from the tallest tree. So you can join us this Monday, starting 7 p.m. Eastern. Go to the Zoom, to get the Zoom link, go to csl.org or go to your CSL Connection newsletter. There's a link also included on this slide. Every Monday, 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern is the Heart of Peace Collective Meditation, which is hosted by CSL, by Centers for Spiritual Living, on our Facebook page. So it's facebook.com/Centers for Spiritual Living. Every Monday at 3 p.m. You could also scan the QR code to get there. This Thursday, October 19th, join the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee for Centers for Spiritual Living, where we'll be honoring Kumu Hialeamoana Wong Kalu, the Cultural Ambassador of the Council of Native Hawaiian Advancement. She's a community leader and teacher of the Native language, history, culture, and dance. The CSL Awards Committee is now accepting nominations until November 1st. So consider the amazing people in your life and honor them with a nomination from one of the following categories for minister, practitioner, lay member, youth champion, arts awards, community award, global services, education and excellence, and the Ernest Holmes Award. Now, if you have any questions, email Reverend Valerie Reeves at vreeves.csl.org. The Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation is raising funds to move the archives. They're looking for $150,000, and you can reach out at scienceofmindarchives.com/donate. Also, this Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, you can join the Science of Mind Library and Archives Foundation for an hour with Ernest Holmes and his talk, Bless and Curse Not. He encourages us to remain aware of when we curse or bless our situation. For more information, you can email info@somarchives.org. The CSL Speaker Series event on Wednesday, December 6th. Invite your friends from the CSL community to experience Dr. Sean Genwright live on Zoom, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and they're $25 for general admission and discounts if we decide as a group to bring 5 or more people to the conversation. So reach out to one of your board members or Dana Cole for more information. You can get your tickets at the link shown on the slide, where they'll be discussing the 4 pivots, which is currently the book club reading for ministers and practitioners. And we'll be bringing that book club to the entire CSL field in January 2024. So save your Tuesday evenings from 7 p.m. Eastern and work with us, because CSL's intention is to hold a container of safety for all, honoring different lenses and supporting each other by listening, hearing, and seeking to understand how systemic racism and harmful othering, as Jen Wright says, has and continues to marginalize people of color and people in the LGBTQIA plus community. So join us next year on Tuesday evenings. And finally, Dr. Jen Wright will also be our keynote speaker on Wednesday, February 21st, during CSL's 2024 Spiritual Living Convention in Charleston, South Carolina. Registration is open November 1st, so please watch for weekly communications. And if you'd like to join the Center for Spiritual Living Spiritual Convention, it'll be held in Wild Dunes Resort in Charleston, South Carolina. And finally, if you would like to volunteer, engage, or connect with us, we have plenty of opportunities to do so with CSL Greater Baltimore. So contact Dana Cole, Robin Fahrenholt, any of the board members for more information.
Good morning, and welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore. My name is Frank Mastoris, and I am the practitioner for the day. Now, allow yourself just to go to center. Take a breath in and release. Take another breath in and release. Take a third breath in and release at your own pace. Allow yourself just to become aware of your body. Scan your feet and your toes and just allow it to relax. Your lower legs, your calves, allow them to relax. Your thighs and pelvis, allow the muscles to relax and feel yourself sink into the seat. Your abdomen, just relax your abdomen. Your chest, allow your chest to relax. Your shoulders, allow your shoulders just to sink down in complete relaxation. Allow your arms to be freely relaxed on your thighs. Your neck, just let it rest. And then finally your head, let your facial muscles just be free. Invoke into your awareness God within you. Never separate, always one. Allow that awareness to expand within you. As you allow this to happen, focus in specifically and request specifically the quality of peace, the peace that passes all understanding. Now allow yourself to become aware of the interconnectedness of all of life. Every human being across the planet is connected because every human being is part and parcel of the one divine expression of God. Individually, we are one powerful expression of the divine. Where two or more are gathered, God is and always has been there. And the multitudes of all of life are expressing peace. The peace that passes all understanding. Every human being has God, the peace of God in them. And that peace is expressing throughout the entire planet, in Israel and Gaza, Ukraine and Russia, in China and the United States, in Venezuela and Colombia, in North and South Korea. That peace is expressing, for we are the one life called God. Listen quietly to the environment, the trees, the whistling of the wind. The earth itself, the rocks. Everything proclaims the peace of God. The peace that passes all understanding. Even the air we breathe is proclaiming peace. Quelling anger. Opening the minds and the hearts of all to peace, to love, to connection, to compassion. the connected mind of God, the connected heart of God expressed as each of us across this planet, breathes in deeper level of peace. And that peace cannot but express, because even the very stones of the planet are proclaiming peace. Because where peace proclaimed, the power of God must be made manifest in this moment and in every moment. The very air that we breathe proclaims and vibrates peace. The very ground we stand on vibrates peace. Even the collective body of God that we are vibrates peace. For we are that peaceful power of God. And come back to the space within your body if you have left it. The place where you are so at one with God and all of life, so at one with the God that you are. And allow the peace that passes all understanding to saturate every cell of your body, every organ, every tissue, every molecule, every cell, every atom. And allow yourself just to relax into this. And allow yourself to feel the chair underneath you. And allow yourself to open your eyes, bringing with you that awareness, that peace that passes all understanding, which we are never separated from, always one with. And open your eyes. And so it is. Namaste.
Thank you for that beautiful meditation. And I'm reminded at times like this that we are all divine. Everything is divine. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. me to see beauty and love lives in me. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love lives in me. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are Namaste.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore's virtual service. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are and wherever you are. I am your host, Therese Pappas. Our speaker today is Reverend Kathleen Sibley. Our musician is Tipora. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Frank Masturis. Thank you for your service. At Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore, every Sunday is Invite a Friend or Family Member Sunday. Make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us.
And knowing the truth that there is only this one life, this one power, this one presence, this one mind, that's one truth that we call God, expressing everywhere as everyone, as everything. I give thanks. And because of this one mind, this one power, this one presence expressing, we know the truth that God is everywhere present, in all things, in all people, everywhere. And knowing the truth that there is peace and power everywhere present, knowing the truth that love must express, that even the very air we breathe proclaims the divine that is God, I give thanks. I give thanks today because I know that this service is done in divine perfection. The music is perfect. The sermon is perfect. Everything is perfect and perfected in God, the divine, that is everywhere present. And I release this. I release this knowing it is all perfect. And so it is.
Now,
Please visit our website, www.cslgreaterbaltimore.org/events, for updates on our events and opportunities to connect. Prayer works. We as a community continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Amen, ashe, and so it is. And next, we have our guest musician, Tapora. Thank you, Tapora. And your opening music was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much. That was a Karen Drucker song. So I love the message for this month and this week, and I wrote this song about releasing into the magic of the small moments in life and getting out of our head and just getting into the flow of that spontaneous play and enjoyment that is our birthright here. Walk, don't talk. Listen to the wind whispering in your ear. Sit, don't go anywhere. Feel the day stretch on, 'cause you can let your guard down, and you can let it be. Touch, don't be afraid. Let your passion guide your way. Love, don't blame. Open up your heart like the Milky Way, and you can let your hair down, and you can let it be. Drink it slowly, never stop. Surrender to your heart. Taste every drop. Empty your cup and fill it up again. Here, right here. Listen to the song let your guard down, and you can let it be. Namaste.
And now we have our practitioner of the day, Frank Masturis, to lead us in a spiritual practice.
Our spiritual practice of the day is contemplative meditation. And I'd like you to contemplate these words. I am the power of peace. I am the power of peace. Everything that I am proclaims peace. Everything that I am proclaims peace. Everything around me proclaims peace. Everything around me proclaims peace. I am peace itself. I am peace itself. Namaste. And so it is.
Thank you, Frank. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Reverend Kathleen Sibley to be our speaker for today.
Good morning. Thanks, Therese. And thank you, everybody who has been basically singing and praying and meditating this talk and this subject in, oops, sorry. The senior minister needs to take a break here. There you go, baby. Have been bringing in this sense of peace. There was such an energy of peace in the beginning of this service that my cat just jumped up in my lap and went to sleep until I moved. So there is a lot going on right now, isn't there? There's a lot of going on in the world. There's a lot going on in our lives. And this is just the way the world works in some ways. And that's okay. That's okay. Life is not boring. And we can choose to see that as a positive. And at the same time, and this is why we're talking about paradox this month, there are people who are in deep pain right now over the events of the world. Whether it's the war in Israel that has actually been ongoing for about 5,000 years, the war in Ukraine that's been going on for quite some time. Does anyone remember that Syria is still at war and has just joined in the war against Israel? These things are going on. They are part of our, while we can absolutely call for peace, we also as a race, the human race, we can also engage in war. And this is the great paradox. And it is something that's been written about in the histories and the mythologies of multiple different religions. So in the Bhagavad Gita, you'll see a scene in which Arjuna, who is kind of the main character, humanity, representing humanity, is standing at the edge, is standing in his chariot with his charioteer at the edge of what will be a great battle. And he is in deep pain because he has people that he loves and family on both sides. And he can't really come to peace in his own heart with the fact that these people he loves so much are so at odds that they would take up arms against each other. And the charioteer, who actually represents Krishna or God, says to him that he doesn't need to be upset because the people who are out there on that field who have chosen to be on that field are actually already dead. There's nothing he can do. That their karma is playing out. And it is not his to twist their karma. Now, we in this philosophy don't swallow whole all of the teachings of other religions or philosophies. What we do is take that which is useful, the idea that the current reality is a kind of a report card or a mirror of all the things we have previously thought or done in our own behavior and our own lives. And so if we look at our lives right now, this is what happens when the group consciousness, the race consciousness, believes that violence is an answer to an issue. And so our karma collectively is to continue to see war. Now, Ernest Holmes would say that yes, karma happens. Yes, the law is no respecter of persons. The law of cause and effect, that which you believe is what you will see, that law is, it always works for everyone all the time. No one gets to skip it. However, we can shift it and create a new cause to create a new effect in a heartbeat. We can, by knowing a greater truth, by raising up our consciousness or our mindset to something higher, we can absolutely change our karma in a heartbeat. We can be, as the Christians say, born anew with a whole new karma at work because we create a new cause, our thinking, which creates a new effect. And that can happen like that. Now, sometimes things just happen because they're used to happening. For instance, this cat has trained me to just accept that he is going to be on the desk in front of in front of me, no matter what I'm doing. I could theoretically do something that would make him run away. I get to decide whether it's worth it. And the thing is, we most feel into the consequences when we're looking at what we call the level of effect. So there's cause, which is spirit, and there's effect, which is what is mundane or earthly. So we have heaven and earth. And it's important to note that we know the difference between heaven and earth, at least at the theoretical level. We are absolutely one at the theoretical divine level. And we don't pretend that wars and hurts and upsets do not happen in the world. So yes, you can be an adult child of God, you can be a Christed being or a Buddha and have a cold. And have someone in your life that you don't like. And be fully divine and fully human at the same time. And that's not a paradox. It's an and, not an either or. So we look at the world. And so, for instance, the fighting going on between the Muslims and the Jews right now in the Holy Land. And we can look at it from this one is right and this one is wrong. Or we can take a different mindset. F. Scott Fitzgerald once wrote, "The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposed ideas in the mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function." So on either side of a war, whether it's North and South here in the US, or the Ukraine and Russia, or the Jews and the Arabs, or, your mom and dad when they were getting a divorce, they each have their own mindset. They each have their own story they're telling in which they completely believe. And they can give you the evidence. And it is possible for us as religious scientists, as people of this faith philosophy, to say, I can see your truth, little t truth, and I can see the other side, and I can see the ultimate truth, which is that we are one. There's an old story about a man who he has two sons by two different mothers. And the older one was it's kind of the baby mama routine where she is not married to him and was never married to him. And the wife is actually kind of jealous that the older son does have some space in the husband's heart. And so when the younger son is born and starts to be raised, there is a story about how the wife of the legitimate younger son gets jealous and starts shoving not only the older son but his mother out of the family circle. This is the story that starts the story of both. Well, it's within Judaism, but it also begins the story of Islam, that Abraham had two sons. And the story is that God tests him by saying, take your son up the hill, up the mountain to the altar and sacrifice him to prove that you love me. Now, for the Jewish and Christian version of the story, it's the younger son. It's Isaac, who goes up there not knowing what's going on, but trusting his father. And his father trusts God and loves God and is obedient to God so much that he is willing to kill Isaac. Now, the story, if it was to happen today, would just be a story on the news about a felony that almost happened. But God stops him at the last minute and says, because of your faith, your son has been chosen. I was just testing you. If you read the Islamic version of the story, it's Ishmael, who is a teenager at the time and walks up that hill knowing exactly what is about to happen. And so one of the great one of the great teachings of Islam is submission to the will of God. And so this boy, this teenager, with his life ahead of him, who was born in order to inherit all that Abraham had, he walks up this hill to die in submission to the will of God. Obviously, it didn't happen, but they do still get chased out, and there's a trip across the desert, and there's all sorts of things that happen. So this, if we look at it, all of these wars, it's nothing but a family thing. It's a family squabble. And unfortunately, when it happens at the level of nations and the hurt is that big and that old, it can involve some weapons of mass destruction, and it will involve a lot of deaths. So what I want you to remember is that this great, what appears to be hatred, would not exist if there was not also great love. If there was not also a oneness behind it that is hurt by the appearance of separation. You see, the opposite of love is not hate, it's apathy. It's indifference. It's the Buddhist idea, not of detachment, but refusing to be sucked into the appearance of separation. So these wars happen, these disagreements happen, whether it's within a family or between nations, because we know in our hearts that we are one. And we have a belief going on that there's not enough love. God would not love us unconditionally unless we suffer for him. Unless we are willing to work out our karma and just keep doing it until we figure it out. This is not true. The idea that we are separate from the divine, that there's not enough good, and that God will only take care of the ones he likes the best, who are the best behaved, and can prove it by following all the laws. This idea is simply a lie. It is the first lie. It is a great lie. It is the first piece of bad data that got into our programming, and it shows up in all of the world religions in the idea that we are somehow having to ask a god or goddess for good, for survival, for being enough, that we in and of ourselves are not enough in order to simply bask in the love of the divine without having to earn it, whether it's by sacrificing our sons, whether it's by allowing our daughters to be less than, whether it's by going to war and fighting on the side of right. There is no side. If there's only one, if we are truly part of an infinite good, there are no sides to that. And without that vast rage that comes from the incredible hurt of feeling separate from the divine, separate from our good, unworthy of the divine, without that incredible hurt, we could figure this stuff out very easily. Very easily. It would not be about there's not enough space. There's plenty of space. There's infinite space. And if we could live next to each other without arguing about whose God is, able to beat up the other God, we would not have these wars. We would be able to say, yes, this is a holy place. The temple in Jerusalem, where the Jews had their first temple built by Solomon, that would be a holy place, and it would be so holy that, of course, other people of other faiths would recognize it as a holy space. And it wouldn't bother anyone at all if their story around why it's holy was not the exact same as the first one. I am so blessed to have been studying this idea for so long. It creates a paradox in our world where in order to truly love, we must allow other people to make their choices. And yes, even go to war at whatever level in order to work out their own divine truth. And at the same time, be willing to stand for an infinite truth that is something above and beyond the seeming conflict. The idea that in order to to be whole, in order to be who we truly are, we must accept the emotional truth and the stories of each side of any conflict as their truth, a relative truth. And that doesn't make anyone right or wrong. It's just we have to keep digging until we can get to a deeper truth. You know, Thomas More in Care of the Soul wrote, "Care of the soul means not taking sides when there is a conflict at a deep level. It may be necessary to stretch the heart wide enough to embrace contradiction and paradox." So our job in this moment, our call as human beings as well as religious scientists, is to open our hearts wide to both sides of any conflict. To open our hearts so wide that there is no outside of that space. There is no, that they are infinitely wide and infinitely deep. And the love that is real, the love that is divine, is what takes up all that space. And so we come to two truths here. And one of them is found in a song written by Celia that she wrote about September 11th. And in it, it says, "We no longer have the living luxury of reveling in the fight. We as religious scientists do not have the luxury, have the space of choosing a side because the stakes are too high. It is nothing less than the survival of the species. Because it's not those of us who are considered and not in our pain body, as some might say, who are going to push the buttons that send the big rockets. It's the hurt people who are hurting people. We cannot become one of the hurt people. We cannot grant ourselves that, frankly, weakness of joining in on one side or another. Now, I am not saying either side is wrong. I am not saying either side in any of these conflicts is right. I am saying that if we wish to survive, if we wish to speak truth, we must rise above the conflict. We must raise our consciousness, have a bigger, more whole embracing mindset that says we are love and we are one and we need each other, all of each other in our wholeness. And so I leave you with a quotation that I would ask you to take into this week. Your invitation this week is to take this thought with you and allow it to guide how you think, allow it to be in the forefront of your mind if you choose to watch the news, allow it to be in the forefront of your mind if you choose to interact with a family member with whom you deeply disagree about whatever. Because in the science of mind, it says, stay with the one and never deviate from it. Never leave it for a moment. Nothing else can equal this attitude. To desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove we did not know the truth. I'm going to step outside of that for a moment. To deeply know the truth means that there is nothing in us that argues with it. No subconscious belief, no historical deep truth that our great-grandparents absolutely knew and passed on into our subconscious mind. When we talk about knowing in this sense, this is a gut-deep knowing truth, just like you know gravity will work tomorrow when you jump out of bed. To desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we never knew the truth. When things look the worst, that is the supreme moment to demonstrate to ourselves that there are no obstructions in the operation of truth. When things look the worst, it is the best time to work, the most satisfying time. The person who can throw himself, and yes, it says himself, with complete abandon into that limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who will receive the greatest reward. I read that fast, but I invite you to go to the Science of Mind and find it. God forbid you should accidentally read extra stuff in there. Find it To desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we do not know the truth, that we need to take it deeper, that we need to allow it to rise up. Now, there is a letter coming out from Home Office that gives you some options for things you can do to absolutely know the truth. For gatherings where the truth is of peace is being known. And those links are available. They were shown at the beginning. I invite you to join the Global Heart of Peace meditation on Mondays on Facebook. I invite you to join at 12 noon Mountain Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, the prayers for world peace that were created by a group of people who were in the Ukraine and are now scattered because they were, they're from all over the place now. But in the beginning, it was people who were being bombed, who needed to know peace. And so a bunch of religious scientists got together and began praying twice a day. It's been going on for a year and a half now. And so every weekday they come together. And that link, whether you understand the Russian or English version or not, that link will be available to you to just come in and breathe in that higher truth, that infinite knowing of the one. So you are invited to put feet on your faith this week. Stay with the one, no matter what the conflict in front of you is. Join with others who are choosing to know the one. And let's make this a world where heaven and earth meet up. And there's no difference, where our divine selves and our human selves are absolutely not a paradox. We do have that power. And I celebrate that. Namaste.
Oh, how beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Kathleen.
Thank you, Jerese.
I really appreciate your reminder that the appearance of separation is not true, and that in order to love, we need to allow others to make their own choices and open our hearts to both sides of any conflict. That really spoke to me. And I also loved your invitation about being born anew in the pause and raising our vibration. Thank you so much. And next we have our guest musician, Tapora. Thank you, Tapora.
This is a mantra called Om Shanti that was interpreted by Ricky Byers. So you can sing along where you are. And it's a mantra, so we repeat it several times so you have time to learn it. And hum along if you've never heard this before. Peace inside of my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside of my mind, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 Peace inside of my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside of my heart, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 Peace inside of the earth, God and God is moving me. Peace inside of the earth, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 Peace inside of my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside of my heart, God and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Peace inside of my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside of my mind, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside of the earth, God and only God I live to see. Peace inside of the earth, God and only God is moving me. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. 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 Namaste.
Thank you, Tapora. I'm feeling that peace stream through my whole being. I think I'll be singing Om Shanti Om all day today. So next, we're sharing our sacred covenant, and I invite you to read this along with me. Our sacred covenant for the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore. This is what we know. The circle of divine love is complete. It comprehends all, includes all, and binds all together with everlasting unity. We are forever held in love's presence and care. Divine love is complete as me. I am the divine love that I am. Our intentions as a community are to recognize, develop, and nourish self-awareness and spiritual growth, to cultivate wisdom through the study of science of mind principles and spiritual practices, to be an inclusive community that welcomes all, to nurture and celebrate the joyous expression of divine love that is each of us. We are demonstrating a world that works for all, one life-affirming thought, word, feeling, and one human interaction at a time. We envision a world that works for all. This is the time of service that we are reminded that practicing the law of circulation is one of many ways we support our spiritual center. It supports where we are spiritually fed, while also supporting the business of running a center. As we give, we receive. There are many ways to give, and you will find them on our website. For more information, go to cslgreaterbaltimore.org/giving. Please join us in our declaration of financial wealth and abundance. Together as a community, let us declare our financial wealth and abundance. I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. And so it is. If you would like the practitioner on duty to pray with you, and you're joining us live remotely, join us on Zoom. Once you are in, type in the word prayer in the chat, and we will place you in a breakout room with the practitioner on duty. Thank you for joining us today. And now we will have our practitioners and our speakers say our closing prayer. Great.
Thank you so much. I just want to remind everybody if they need the Zoom link in order to request prayer or simply to join us for a chance to talk about all of these issues we addressed today, please go to cslgreaterbaltimore.org and click on the link that is there for the after service Zoom room. That is also where the board meeting will be taking place, and we have some big issues to discuss about how to express our oneness. So join me now in the peace that is divine, the peace that is infinite and big and enfolding us right here and now, that is welling up from within each and every cell, from within each and every system in our physical body and the body of our affairs. I bless and celebrate this peace. I bless and celebrate that as we walk out into the world, we have both the power and the responsibility to be that peace in face of times of war or challenge or struggle, to call forth a higher truth, not only within our own minds, but within the minds of the people around us. It is the strength and the love and the power of the divine that flows through us to create this peace, to create this sense of holiness, to be the Om Shanti singing throughout all the world and throughout every mind. I call this good. I call this a capital T truth. It is the truth no matter what the evidence might suggest. And so I cling now. I relax now into that one, the one mind, the one heart, the one being that is the truth of all of us. And I allow this time of service, this time of celebration to end, but allow that sense of truth, that knowing of truth to continue and spread out. I call it all good and very good and give thanks in advance for the demonstration of peace. And so it is. Ashe and amen. See you over in Zoom.